I'm ChezPride and welcome back to another Sims 4 news related video and partly a life update video because I just appeared off of here unannounced for more than a week, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably have no idea why. But basically, life's been crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick life update, and then we're going to jump over into all the Sims related news that I've been wanting to share with you, but have definitely not had the time to. So I'm not going to go into the full detail on everything because honestly, that would stress me out way too much to continue this video, and it would also take way too long to explain. So I'm just going to kind of summarize what ended up happening in this whole fiasco. So basically, the last couple of days before 420 Easter weekend, I ended up waking up with a negative balance in my bank account. So I ended up having to take the day off to deal with that and get that sorted. So I ended up, one, missing a day of work, which I hate missing days of work. And in this week, I had to miss more than one. But two, I ended up having to ask for help with getting the money to make my balance go back up, and I hate asking people for money. I did end up eventually getting them their money back, but I couldn't get it back as fast as I wanted because the resource I was getting the money to pay them back from, which I was already expecting, was also late because they got their check late. So none of that went to plan. I did eventually get it worked out. The next day was spent running around having to work and earn a little bit extra cash to kind of work towards paying them back and replacing what I could. And I also had to go to someone else's house to wash clothes because our washer isn't working. So all of that is very stressful. So I figured I would record Saturday night before Easter to do my Easter 420 video, because, I didn't have time to do it the couple days before that. But that also ended up not happening. I mean, not exactly for a bad reason, but I was a little sad that I didn't get to put up my Easter 420 video because it's going to be quite a few years till Easter lands on 420 again. And I don't know if I'll end up posting it or making that video because it's so late now. But it was such a cute video idea. So I was a little upset that it got ruined. But it wasn't for a bad reason, like I said. Basically, the weekend ended up going great. I got to go to the Renaissance Festival near my house and hang out with some friends. We actually got invited to an after party at the festival, which was super fun, but it meant that I didn't get back to almost midnight, so I didn't have time to do the video that I had planned that night, and I didn't have time to do it on 420 Easter because I was out having to do stuff for the holiday, like go to the movies and whatnot. And all of that was great until the next day. The next day, I ended up having a bit of a mental breakdown, I guess, from autistic overstimulation. But as I was coming down off of that panic attack, I heard psst, psst, boom, and looked in the middle room in my house that has the breaker box and whatnot, and all of that was on fire. So I had to panic run all 5 of my animals out of the house, turn off the power, put out the fire, and we pretty much lost everything in that middle room, including a part of the floor and the power source to our house. I was lucky enough to have been there and heard it, and I didn't lose my whole house, but me and all of my 4-legged babies are currently not able to stay at my own place with my own yard in my own safe zone, which honestly just kind of sucks. I love my mom. I'm so thankful that she's giving us all a place to stay, but it's not the best feeling being almost 30 and having to live in her basement again. Then to top it all off, we ended up having trouble with the insurance. So the house fire actually wasn't covered on my house insurance like I thought it was. So I'm ending up having to pay out of pocket to replace all my wiring. And I had to take the day off to deal with the insurance and the people coming out to the house to give us an estimate which, like I said, I hate having to take off days, especially when they require spending money. But then I was trying to go to work the next day, after most of that happened that I had to take the day off for. And I was like, okay, I'm finally going to work. I'm finally going to earn some more money. And my tire popped. Like, it wasn't the tire's fault. I ended up accidentally hitting something because I'm no longer used to living in a crowded area with busy highways because I now live in the country normally. But it was my fault. But I did end up popping my tire and had to wait on a car or tow to come and take it to the mechanic because I ended up needing an oil change anyways, which I was going to do the next day, but I guess the universe was just like, nope, you're going to the mechanic today. So I had to wait for the car to get towed. Then I was late to work, so I did lose some money. I did work that day, but not as much as I needed to. And then, of course, after all of that happening, in about the span of a week and a half, my stress was triggered and my narcolepsy was like, bitch, you shall sleep for 22 hours. And this is the first day I've been awake enough to record since. So as you can see, it has been quite the journey. It could have been way worse. I could have lost my whole house. The animals could have been hurt. But it was still a journey. Also, traveling with 5 animals and a 2-seated car with a full trunk for over an hour is also quite the journey. But yeah, I pretty much want to just explain all that, not to only vent a little, because, making videos is kind of like therapy, and to explain why I disappeared for over a week, but to also just say sorry if the sound quality isn't the best in this video or the next. I already recorded the next video just because I want to dive in and have fun recording before making this video talking about all this stressful stuff and giving you guys important information to do with The Sims. But that also means that I'm not editing a full video and checking out the sound quality fully until after I record this. And the room I had to set up recording in is a 15-foot tall, half-empty room that is quite echoey and in the basement of my mom's house. So that means there's also animals and people walking above me. So not the most ideal situation, and the sound will probably be a little worse than normal. I have tried adjusting and testing it some, but if it's still horrible when I go to edit this video, I'll try to fix it more in the video after my next one. But it's not my ideal recording situation, but it is the cards I have been given for now. But the main focus of this video isn't my life. It is to catch up on some Sims related news and talk about what is coming up in the next week or so in The Sims. So we have a laundry list for the patch before the new kits. We have a Twitter post to discuss, and even a competition. If you act fast, you could still enter. So let's go ahead and jump in, starting with this laundry list. So if you're not sure what a laundry list is, let me just explain the concept real quick. Basically, when the Sims team releases a laundry list, it is a list of things that they are working on to fix and they're hoping to get fixed soon. Most of the time, they're saying, hey, we're hoping to have this out in the next patch. Sometimes it doesn't happen until a patch or two after that. But it's kind of a good way to let Simmers know, like, hey, we hear you. We know that you're reporting problems on Answers HQ. Or I guess the EA website. I forget. They changed over. I think it's somewhere on the EA forums now, actually. My bad. But they're basically saying, hey, we hear you. This is what we're currently working on and is our highest priorities and what we're hoping to get fixed next. And these typically come out a week or two before a patch. They don't normally tell us when the patch is going to be, but on our roadmap that we are getting near the end of, I may say, so I'm assuming the first week or two of May, we're going to end up getting a new laundry list or a new, what is this called? Roadmap, I'm assuming we're going to get a new roadmap. But on our last roadmap that we are at the very end on, you can see here is kind of not a great quality photo. But it says on May 1st, we're getting 3 kits. The Restorations Workshop, Golden Years, and Kitchen Clutter. So basically we're getting a new workshop. I'm assuming it's going to be a build kit that has playable items, probably just like upgraded items that we already have. Kits don't tend to come with a lot of new stuff. Golden Years, I'm assuming, is going to be Create a Sim, and Kitchen Clutter is obviously going to be a build pack. So I'm assuming we're getting 2 build packs and a sim pack, but this could possibly be a pack. I could see with that title it being a gameplay kit, but we haven't got a gameplay kit in so long. I don't even know if it's going to be in the realm of possibilities. But those are the titles of the 3 kits we're getting this Thursday. So I'm assuming this laundry list is for this Tuesday, because typically when we get new DLC, we get a patch either the Tuesday before or the week before, and the week before has already passed and we didn't get a patch. But we did get this laundry list. So let's go ahead and jump into it. It says, "Hi Simmers. Welcome to the laundry list, where we have shared a list of the top community concerns that we're currently investigating and hope to resolve. This is only a list of the top topics with the upcoming fixes. There are more topics reported by players that are not listed here and are still being worked on. Thank you for your continued reports and votes on what issues you are experiencing." So as you can see, we have a list of the top concerns. We have issues in save files, weather affecting fishing and Sulani. It's not like the biggest laundry list we've gotten, but this list is pretty long, and this is a good little bit of an add-on. So let's see what we are hoping to get fixed in this next patch. So here are the list of top community concerns we're investigating for our next patch update. So this is what they're hoping to get in the next patch update. So we have unable to water plants. So yeah, that's annoying. That's an issue they've had off and on. First it was weeding, and now it's watering. Teenage Sims aging into young adults do not get a third trait. I've more so seen that happening outside of my family, like when a family in the background of a save file ages up and their kid goes from a teen to a young adult. Sometimes they won't get a third trait. I was wondering why that was happening. Vampire eyes on a child sim revert back to normalize. High school event tasks do not appear for secondary active teens. After shaving to preferred length, arm hairs are not removing. Sims with any level of logic skill are unable to compete chess fair puzzle. I didn't know that was a thing. I had to look in that. Oh, it looks like we have some rebirth ones too. So this is rebirth. Sims grayed out as a ghost sim but are not forwarded to the rebirth screen. Haven't had that problem, but I'm glad to see it's fixed. Rebirth interactions result in a simulation area for the Sims rewarded traits such as affection, affinity, beloved, and romantic sage. And then it said, Gauderes appear every time for the occult picker in the cast UI. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty much saying that the button to choose the Create Sim, like what type of occult you want your sim to be in Create Sim keeps flashing. That is one that's really been bothering me. Like, you can click on it and it'll go away, but it's still really annoying every time you open up Create Sim. It flashes at you, especially when it's a sim that you've already made. Like, when you load into Create Sim from your save file, you shouldn't be getting that flashing being like, hey, let's turn this into an occult. But still happens. Sims unresponsive and game freeze and save menu when multiple ghosts are in a household. I don't really play with multiple ghosts in my household, so I guess that's why I've never experienced that. Plants get back black spots when zooming out. I have slightly noticed that, but I just thought that was an issue on my end. And then for Mac specifically, game becomes unresponsive while traveling to the library and nightclub in Willow Creek. That's annoying because that's the base game world. But under that, it says, our team continues to investigate other community concerns for future fixes. Please note that some topics can be complicated to resuscitate and require extended investigation on our end. So even though we're actively reviewing, it is not guaranteed that it will have an immediate fix for it in the upcoming patch. This includes the following voted top communities. So these are the ones that they pretty much know for sure they're going to try to fix. These are the ones they are hoping to fix by the next hack, like the next patch after this, but they are not making 100% promises, which the first one I'm really sad to see because I was hoping this would be on the list above, but is issues compacting save files. If you've been experiencing this, please contribute this. So it gives you a form. Yeah, they're using the EA forms now. So, and, so pretty much all of this, they're telling you, here's the link if you have been having this issue, report it. But, basically inputting save files. So there's been like this glitch going on with like For Rent, which is why I've been really weird about my save file with that I'm playing with For Rent. And I've only been playing it sparingly, but it's because like they've been having this weird bug where like it starts in like Willow Creek and slowly like, your households and your houses start just randomly deleting themselves, especially in older save files. So if you've been having that, that's kind of here. And then we have weather effects occurring indoors. So there's been a glitch where if you zoom in when it's like raining or snowing, your Sims get rained and snowed on in the house. It's really weird. You're like, it's basically just a visual glitch, but it's still annoying. And then fishing in Sulani, I'm assuming I haven't heard of this one, but I'm assuming you're having trouble fishing in Sulani, so that they also put a direct link for that. But it also says follow the Sims Direct on Twitter or our Discord horror community, and they update when those will be fixed. They'll put it up there. But it says, thank you for all your patience and valuable help in reporting. Please continue sharing any issues you are experiencing with the EA forms. So give a little link to that and say happy simming. So like I said, it wasn't a super long laundry list, but I am excited to see most of these. I am disappointed to see the issue save file not being fixed and the weather not being fixed, because those are two glitches that's been going on for a while that has made me like kind of scared to play my game. So sad to see those aren't on the list, but some of these I'm glad to see that are on this, like the shiny occult button in the create sim, the unable to water plants, the third trait with teens. All of that I'm very excited to see. But we do have some other stuff to talk about. And let's start out with the Discord challenge. Now, I am not participating in this just because it is kind of a cool challenge, the grand prize, but I figure I'm not going to win the grand prize. And I already have all the expansion packs. So the second rate prize I'm not interested in. But there's still 3 days in this challenge competition situation if you still want to enter. This was announced a while ago, but like I said, it was announced like right after all this started. So I haven't had the time to talk about it. But until April 30th, so the day before the kits come out, we are celebrating the road to 100K Discord members with a challenge. One lucky winner will add a unique clutter item or clothing item directly into the base game, and 100 other winners will receive an expansion pack of their choice. Which, Honestly, both of those are really cool because expansion packs are like the most expensive packs, so they're like the $45 packs. I own all of them but the Star Wars pack, and I honestly don't have any desire to own the Star Wars pack. There's some expansion packs I wish I didn't own, honestly. Like Get Famous, I could totally go without that. But the fact that like 100 people are just going to receive an expansion pack of their choice for free when they're like $45 a piece without being on sale, that's pretty cool. And obviously the ultimate prize is super cool, which is to add a unique clutter or clothing item directly into the game. So basically, you kind of seen where they've been working with content creators and custom content creators to create kits that have either like clutter items or build items or create a sim items. But now they're letting anyone, not just content or custom content creators, but anyone that enters on this Discord challenge, the ability to create one item in the game that literally can be anything as long as it's clutter or clothing. They said even, I saw a post somewhere said it could even be like a unique trait. They just want you to be able to put a piece of you into the game for free for everyone in the base game, which I think is really cool. Like I said, I'm probably not going to enter in this competition. I have no idea what I would even make, but I think the concept of this is really cool. So I wanted to show it to you guys. So we have this form here on Discord. It says 1 in 1K is Summer's Discord challenge. To celebrate the road to 100K Discord members, get ready to make your mark on The Sims 4 with the 1 in 1K Simmers Discord challenge. We are thrilled to announce this opportunity where one lucky Simmer will get the chance to add unique clutter or clothing item directly from your brain into the Sims 4 base game. This is your moment to shine and leave your creative touch for all Simmers to enjoy. Whether it's a royal portrait of your pet, a new gnome, or something. Oh, portrait. I thought they were saying a new trait. No, portrait. That, like, portrait. Okay, sorry. I read that wrong earlier when I was scanning over this. So it can't be a trait. It has to be a color item or a clothing item. But you can do a royal portrait for your pet, a new gnome, or something else. But that's not all. We are going to give away an expansion pack of your choice to 100 winners. So, like I said, that's what's going on. But let's look at the actual details here. So, to enter, you must post a sim self or favorite sim to, and then it has this hashtag here, using the post formats below. So, it does have to be in a certain format. So, we have to say your nickname, give your description of your sim self, have your gallery ID information, and you have to attach images to your texted post. And then it says the prizes, like I said earlier, one grand prize will be, you can make a clutter or clothing item, and then the next 100 winners get a expansion pack at their point, and it does in April 30th, so at 4 p.m. Very specifically at 4 p.m. So you don't have very much longer to do this. I really did want to announce this when this was posted the 15th. But like I said, that was very like the day after all this started, and my day was crazy. My week was crazy. But if you do enter by April 30th, the winners will be announced on May 6th. I'm assuming that it's going to be on Discord, considering it's a Discord competition. But just be aware you must be 13 or older to enter. But you can use custom content and all that for your creative sim self. So it's a pretty cool competition. I thought it was worth noting. I don't know how many of you have actually heard about it, because they did put it announced on their Twitter, and obviously it's on their Discord. But I don't know how many of those sites are really used by Simmers. I get a lot of news from Twitter, but I also only go on Twitter for Sims news. So I feel like a lot of people probably didn't hear about this because I didn't really see them talk about it much like on their Instagram or any of that. It was mainly just kind of one Twitter post and that was it. So I figured in case you did miss the information and you're seeing this before April 30th at 4 o'clock, you might go ahead and enter if you feel like it. But with that, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is actually the new Inzoi game. So if you didn't know, kind of like Paralives, Inzoi is a new life simulator game, and it's very similar with The Sims, but like upgraded to the max. So like the visuals are so much better. The game has like a bunch of the stuff The Sims has, like, but mixed with like Sims expansion packs, so you're kind of getting it all in one. And there's cars, there's just basically anything you think of that The Sims 4 is missing, this game has, plus upgraded graphics, which I think is cool. I don't have the extra money obviously now that I have had a house fire to buy it. But it sounds really cool, and I really like the fact that The Sims isn't looking at this as a competition. Actually, The Sims and Inzoi are kind of friends, and it was honestly kind of a shock, because if you look at this post, when the game posted it said, so we brought fruitcake. Obviously, that's what The Sims is going to do, and it said, the tables is waiting for that final touch. Welcome. Oh my goodness. So literally they're actually kind of friends with each other, and the Sims team is actually using Inzoi as kind of a research base. I lost the exact post that I had about this, but I was able to find some of the questions under Lunar or Brittany Twitter page, which they like to hate on The Sims quite a bit, but if you get past that, they do actually post quite a good amount of information. And this is basically showing some questions that are being asked around. So we're getting a bunch of stuff asked around the Sims lab with questions about Inzoi, kind of seeing what features people like and what features don't. And some of the questions are literally like about cars, and a lot of these are like supposed to be, people are taking it as, at least, that a lot of these questions they're asking are things they're considering putting in the game, and The Sims is kind of, and there was a post, I lost the post, but it literally said that The Sims team was doing research into the coding and all of that into this new game to help it advance their game. And I think it's really cool that they're working together like that. So these are just some of the questions like they're asking. They're talking about here how they're satisfied with like the graphics and whatnot. Honestly, if you haven't seen the graphics are absolutely gorgeous in that game. Let's see. Yeah, here's like a picture of one of the characters, but obviously with Sims food. I don't know. It's a beautiful game. I do want to try it out. I'm also nervous about it. But the only reason I'm pointing that out is because I thought it was really cool that the Sims team and this new life simulation game are working together rather than being at ends with each other. I feel like The Sims 4 and Paralives, like, they're not competition necessarily, but they're not like working together. I feel like Inzoi and The Sims are working together, and I think it's going to help both games advance. So I just thought that was really cool, so I thought I'd point that out. But on that note, I think that's pretty much everything I want to discuss in this video. So like I said, sorry I disappeared for a little bit. Obviously, I was dealing with some shit, but at least I got to catch up and show you guys what's been going on the last few weeks and kind of tell you what's going to be happening in the next week. So keep an eye out on my channel for a patch review video over the laundry list that we just went over here, what will be coming in this patch. And then I will also, of course, be making reviews on all 3 of the new kits. But this is where I'm going to end this video, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. All right. Bye!